Hey journeys, where y'all been? It's Unique and I'm back with another video. So today I wanted to come and do a video about what's in a name, becoming unique. This is an interesting video because, as I explained on my last one, I was sharing how my channel name has been Uneak Tershai, and this was way before it was trendy to do the first name middle name thing. I dropped my last name a long time ago, and as y'all keep up with this, we're gonna unpack what's actually in a name and becoming you. And I'm gonna tell y'all how I became unique. There's this new wave on YouTube where people are starting to change their channel names to their given first name as well as their middle names, and this is something that I've actually been doing since the start of my channel. What led me to decide to name my channel in this way was just because I didn't feel like I had a connection to my paternal side of my family. When I was a young girl, there were times where I would engage with the paternal side of my family. My mom made sure that I was able to be around them and go over to their house and visit and things like that. And I also went through this period where I was longing to have the presence of my dad, and I didn't have an understanding as to why my parents didn't live together. It just didn't make sense to me. All in all, for the most part, I was essentially raised by my maternal side of my family, as well as surrounded by women in the household and the occasional boyfriend and such. But what is it that's in a name? As I was growing up, I didn't necessarily have an attachment to my last name. I thought it was very plain. I thought it was basic. I always loved my middle name. I thought it was the cutest thing in the world. And then as far as my first name, I developed a hate and a disdain towards my first name being unique, as I was actually being socialized in schools and in my community and stuff, because I would actually get teased about my name. Like, what kind of name is that? It's so corny. I really didn't like the fact that it was spelled U-N-E-A-K rather than U-N-I-Q-U-E, because it was different. At that time growing up, I just wanted to fit in. I didn't want to be different. And then the fact that my name was unique, and then it was also spelled in a way where I would have to stop people as they were writing. I always had to interject and say, allow me to spell it for you, because people would spell my name wrong all the time. And then also, when they would read it on paper, they would make it to be things that it was not. There's clearly no A at the end of my name, but I would be called Unica. You get what I'm saying? And so it was so frustrating, and I felt like, dang, I have this basic last name. Why couldn't I get a basic first name to go with it so we can save all the drama with my name? I also didn't like it because once I got into middle school, they used to associate it with rhyming words, and one of the rhyming words, I felt like they tried to put a brand on me or something, and it just rubbed me the wrong way. Like, how dare you say some shit like that to me? You know what I'm saying? So at that point, I ended up dropping you, and I just told people call me Neek. I felt like it was simple. I felt like it was easy, and I went by Neek for a while, and then it transitioned into Nikki. I just went by these little names. Like, when we would go to team parties and stuff, it was either Neek or Nikki. So I just didn't want to have to go through like the hassle and the story of Unique and people acting like they didn't hear it but they heard it. It was just so beyond something that they can think of. And if there were people who met someone with my name, they will also compare me to another Unique that they know, but I spell it different. And so there will always be a conversation about how I spell it different. Grown-ups loved it though. It was just the people that were my age, they really didn't like it at all, which made me not like it. I wanted to do a name change when I was a teenager. Actually, I didn't want my name to be Unique anymore. I wanted it to be something that was basic, essentially, because I was over the drama and all of the hoopla over my name. So back at the end of 2018, I was going through this crazy dark night of the soul in my life, and it led me to connect with my spiritual mentor. It was such a pivotal and transformative time for me, but also during this time I did a lot of like self-research and diving into like me as a self and getting to know me more. So one of those tools that I used was actually my birth natal chart, and with the birth natal chart, it is comprised together based on your day and time of birth and how the planets were aligned for you at that time, and what that can mean for your forward movement, and also getting a better understanding of yourself and your ways, the reasons as to why you may possibly make some of the decisions that you do. But beyond that, I also got into numerology. So once I got into numerology, I discovered this website. It's called video.numerologist.com, and I'm actually on it right now, and it says that you're here because you yearn to really know who you are, how others perceive you, and the unique opportunities that lay ahead. Perhaps you are trying to make sense of these uncanny coincidences that have been appearing in your life, like repeated numbers. Numbers influence your life in many beautiful and mysterious ways and can reveal more than ever you thought that may be possible about your personality, potential, and life's true purpose. By looking at nothing more than the meaning of your name and date of birth, we can uncover so many surprising and fascinating truths hidden in your unique numerology chart. It will tell you how to read your universal clues that will guide you to true happiness and abundance. When doing this, something in me sparked. And that is when I actually came across a full deluxe like numerology report of my name, my date of birth, and everything. And one of the very first chapters in the report is about your identity. So you basically take the letters of your name and convert them into their corresponding numbers, and y'all can find this easily like online to know which letters represent which numbers. And so then they compile them together. The numeric value is an essence number based on the most powerful letters within your total name, and it is similar to the life path. It's your original identity because it's your original given name as to how they compile it together. It kind of sets the framework of your identity and how you present yourself and everything like that. And then the more you dive into the birth natal chart, you'll start learning things about like your sun, your moon, your rising, which all coincides with your date of birth. So I started to go through this process, and it actually made me embrace my name a little bit more, but it also caused the stakes of carrying this name to be very high for me. And when I was in therapy the other day, she was asking me essentially like, why do you feel that way? Like, who is imposing that on you? I was explaining to her that I felt like my parents put a target on my back by naming me Unique. It made me have to live up to a certain standard of being different and being an outcast and an outlaw and an outlier. In the midst of living up to this name, Unique, I found that it's like I don't even have to try. But the fact that my name is unique, I often get perceived by others that I'm trying hard to be different, but I'm just not with the shits anyway. You get what I'm saying? It could be simple as a show that everybody's watching. If everybody's watching it, I don't want to watch it. I want something that I can have to myself and be able to frame my own thoughts and opinions around certain things and not be influenced by other people at the time when something is trendy to engage with that. I want to have my own clear thoughts and opinions about it, and not to be swayed by the opinions of others, because the masses could be watching something and they could all think that it sucks, but when I watch it, it may be something that I enjoy. So that's just one example in how I may be perceived as if I'm always going against the grain, but truly that that's just how I feel. A lot of these things and how these things are set up, I don't agree with. A lot of these ways of being, a lot of ways that we operate, I'm always questioning why. I've always questioned why when becoming unique. Unique always wanted to know why. I didn't like to take things for face value, and it's definitely come with me into my adult years. I feel like my parents put a target on my back because I feel like this name holds so much weight. But what I realized in therapy is that I can release the attachment to what my parents' expectations are of me. I can release the need to people please. I can release the need to have external validation for my life. I can also release whatever attachments that I have to my name and what I think that meaning is, and redefine that meaning for myself, and not have to live up to my parents and family's expectations of me and what unique is supposed to be. I've gotten exhausted of being an overachiever and always striving for perfection to get love from my family and my friends. I really just want to be me. I want to be able to be surrounded by a tribe of people where I can show up as myself and integrate my uniqueness as a oneness and have the multi dimensions of me to be integrated into oneness. I don't want to have to go around this person and only show this part of unique. I don't want to come on YouTube and only show this side of myself because people are used to me being a vlogger. I don't want to go to the Journey Free podcast and always talk about healing and shadow work. Sometimes I want to get on there and I want to talk about sex and sexuality and pleasure. And I am going to create a life where I'm actually doing those things for me. I am really exhausted with living up to other people's expectations. I am exhausted with the expectations that I have created for myself based on other people's opinions and views of how it is that I should be and how it is that I should be moving. If I didn't go on this spiritual journey, I really wouldn't have chosen the path of individuality, the path of being an autonomous person. And I know as humans, we are relational beings, and don't get me wrong, I love to engage with people, immerse with people, but one thing about this spiritual journey, I have went into so many hermit modes where I've gone MIA to really just tap into myself and to be with self, and it's been the most peaceful. Even though at times it was challenging, even though I felt resistance, even though my mind would be telling me like, oh, you don't need this, go and find somebody to be with, go be codependent, like you're used to being codependent, you are used to relying on other people for your entertainment, you are used to being a miserable person who loves company. I made the conscious decision that I wanted to step out of those spaces and truly just be with me. And so when I talk about becoming unique, these are some of the pieces of those things that I am unraveling for y'all, thread by thread. I'm unraveling these things for y'all. I feel like this is an opportunity and a moment for me to rebrand myself in a way, and I know that we hear that online all the time. I'm going to rebrand, but this rebrand is so essential to my forward movements. This rebrand is so essential to me leveling up, and it is also very essential to me being wholeheartedly 100% my true and most authentic self. And I felt a lot of pressure because I felt as if I had, how can I explain it? I felt like everybody was dependent on Unique. Sometimes I don't want to have to do anything for anybody, and sometimes I just want to be here, and sometimes I just want to do things that I love and enjoy without expectations. I'm over living up to the expectations of being unique, and I'm really looking forward to this upcoming journey and the things that I am going to discover about myself. I'm currently in my Saturn return, and I've actually been feeling the weight of it pretty early on. Like even in the shadow, I felt like my Saturn return started to happen when I turned 25. It was such a milestone for me and a transformative time where I really started to step into who I am and who it is that I am becoming, and I just have an appreciation for all my parts, and I'm in the process of learning to love myself more in the high times as well as the low times. And I think that that's very, very essential to embracing who it is that you are and how it is that you are. So, journeys, I hope that y'all were able to gain some insight from this video. I know it's a little different than what I normally do over here, but we are definitely in a period of transition, and I'm just following my intuitive knowing, and I am following my heart. If this is content that resonates with you, definitely let me know. You can like the video, leave me a comment, and if you haven't considered subscribing to my channel, then definitely do so. That way you can always be on the up and up as to the next time that I post another video. I don't know, this is giving me like series vibes, like Becoming Unique as a series. I want to call this something along the lines of What's in a Name, but I feel like this could low-key be a series, but I'll just see how I feel. I'll see what else comes up for me, and if I have anything else to share on Becoming Unique, y'all know where to find me. Thank y'all so much for watching. I truly appreciate it if you made it to this point, and I will see y'all on the next go round in my next video. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video. If you enjoy conversations like this, then definitely come and check out my podcast. It's Journey Free Podcast. You can find us at anchor.fm/Journey Free Podcast. We host on multiple platforms like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google, and so many more.